Hello everyone, my name is Alireza. In this YouTube channel, we are going to learn things and tricks about RPA in general, low-code software development tools, AI and tech. Please don't forget to like the video and subscribe the channel. Let's go. Let's go. So in Power App and in Canvas app especially, we have different types of variables. The best point to start always is the documentation. So as you can find this link on the description of the video. Here, as you can see, they showed we have three different types of variables, one global one, context one, and collections. So if I just want to describe you what are the differences between these three, and later on this video, I'm gonna show you some real example about them to give you a better understanding. So about the global variables are the variables which can have a number, text, boolean, record, or table inside them, and these variables will be valid in your entire application. So it doesn't matter in which screen you have defined them. You can use that in all of your screens and in all the parts of your app. The next one is the context variables. So as you can see as an example, they consider navigate function as a context variable. What update context is something like global variables, but you can use that variables only in the screen which you have defined your variables. It would be more useful in temporary variables, like when you want to, for example, save counter or something like that inside one screen. Then at the end, last but for sure not least, are the collections. So collections can have different types of values. Let's take a look into them. As you can see, they can contain a single value, they can contain a record or a table. So in our example, I'm going for let's say inserting one table into a collection and show you how it works in general. It means generally you will take a copy of your table and then you can store that into your collection and use that in your app, in all the screens and so on. And the difference between collection and clear collect, which I'm gonna show you later on, is when you are collecting something, you will keep the items which you had previously in that, let's say, collection, and then you will insert the new item into that. But clear collect will remove everything from your collection and again assign the new things into that. So it's different between collect and clear collect. So yeah, we have three types of variables, as I mentioned: global, context, collection in Power Apps. And now let's go for some real world example. So let's open make.powerapps.com. First of all, I'm going to create a table, which I'm going to use that to show you how the collection it works. For creating table, as you can see, we have different options. I will go with the easiest one. From here, you can rename your table. For example, I will call it training variable test, and then from here you can create a new column or edit your columns. So it's the predefined column, which I'm going to change that to ID. Generally it should be number, some calculated number, but I will keep it as a single line of text. I will make it optional based on our, let's say, demo session. Then another column can be full name. We have different types of data which we can consider, and also some subtypes. Also, we have a format option like email, phone number, and so on. We don't want that required, and save. Then by pressing create, it will create our table. Actually, in the today's demo, I'm gonna show you some example about each of the variable types to give you a better understanding about how each of them is working. Then I'm gonna create a Canvas app. And within our Canvas app, I'm going to create a new screen, which is the blank one again. Then now we have two screens. So the first thing which I'm gonna show you is the navigate part, which is context variables. And also I'm gonna show you one global variable I will consider as a text string, which is the easiest one to give you first good understanding. So in both of the pages in below, I will add two buttons. The first button, I will call it navigate to hello world. You can resize that from here, or if you want something precise, you have all the options here as well. So let's put it here. Then I'm going to go to second page, same button, just call it differently, goodbye word. That's it. Then let's start with the second option, the first button, let's say. So inside that I will put navigate. In the navigate method, always the first argument would be the screen which we want to navigate there. In our case is a screen 2, and the second one is the type of navigation, for example the style of navigation, I would say fade, cover right, and so on. I'm choosing the fade one. So I will do the same here as well. Only difference is screen 1, I put them in under the unselect property of the buttons. Then another option is defining a global variable. So as you know, and we have seen in the documentation, set is the correct method. Then in the first part, as you can see here, we will name our variable, my first global variable, and in the second part, we'll call the value. It can be another variable or a string or number or whatever. Then I will call it hello world. So what it means? It means we created or used this variable and we are going to assign this value into that. Then, as expected, I'm gonna do the same here. But here, I just changed the hello to goodbye. That's it. So the next, to show you it works in different screens, I'm just adding one text label on top of my page. Try to expand it, put it in the center, make it bold, increase the font size. That's it. Then under the text part, I'm going to use the variable global one which we created and just copy this and put it in the first screen as well. So as expected, still we haven't assigned anything to our global variable, so we don't have any value here. But by pressing this navigate to hello world, we assign the hello world to our variable and then we can see hello world here. But navigate to goodbye word, if you remember, we just tried to assign goodbye word. And yeah, it will change to goodbye. So it means that we define our variable, we assign something into that, and we are using that in different screens and in our entire application. So that's how global variable, which is the easiest type of variable, is working. Then now let's go for the collections. So for showing you how the collections are working, first I'm going to create a new screen. Created a screen number 3, and as you have seen, we created a table. So if you want to use your data in the Canvas app, always you need to add them to your app. So as you can see, it's the table which we created, training variable test, and here we have added with a Dataverse connection our table. Also, you have other types of connection and connectors like SQL, Asana, and too many other different connectors which you can use in your database. So here we have our table. Now I'm going to add one vertical gallery and use our training variable test dataverse table directly on that. So as you know, there isn't anything in our table. Also, I will take a copy of this and then put it here, and I will add one button on below. So add item to table. Under this button, I'm going to add something into our table. Then here, update collection. Under this button, I'm going to add whatever we have in our table into our collections. So let's say gallery, which we can see on the left, we'll see all the table items, and here the collections item. I want to show you what are the differences between table and collection. Generally, table is a direct link with a connector to the dataverse table, and collection is a copy of whatever we have in our table. So for adding something to the table, we need to use patch function. I'm going to create another video about patch function, update function, and differences, and telling you everything about that. So for here, just accept the script from me. Then the first part is the name of the table. When you want to add something, then second argument will be default place, and then the last is the values which we're gonna add. So we had the ID column, and for ID I will put 01 for the first one, and for the full name I will pass my name. So, and then also we can reset our galleries always to show you the latest version of the data. Then if I play and press this button, then it will add one item to the gallery which is connected to my dataverse table. So yeah, I just pressed and you can see the item in both sides. So to just adjust them, instead of created on, I put the full name, which is our custom number, custom column, let's say. Then in the update collection, still it is showing the table to us. So I will just remove the data source from here and let's keep it as it is now. So in the update collection part, I'm gonna use clear collect, which we saw in the documentation. So the first part is the name of your collection, my first collection, and the second part is the value which you want to pass into that. It could be a single value, can be a record or a table. In our case, it's a table. So I'm just use the table and that's it. Again, reset our galleries. We are done. And also here, I just pass ID and full name. Here we have full name and ID to make them similar. Just full name here and ID here. So our collection is free. If you go to the data part, you can see the collection which we created. Imagine that we have multiple tables and then we want to merge them and show them into one collection, or implement any other logic with the collections and table and so on. But the collection is something inside our Canvas app. But other connectors and tables are something which we are using connectors to reach them. So now if I press update collection, it will take a copy about whatever we have in the table and then insert them into the collection. So that's why. And if I press update collection again we have a one item because we use clear collect. In the clear collect, it will first remove everything from our collection and then insert the things from table or whatever to that. So for example, if now we come here under this button and instead of clear collect, use collect. Then when we press update collection, we will have a multiple values of that specific item. As you know, in the collect, we are not removing the things which are already in the collections. So it didn't remove this one and it just added another time whatever we have in the table into that. So we have 1, 2, 3. That's about the collections. So let's jump back into the documentation and review everything one more time. Global variable, you can use them in the entire application. It doesn't matter in which screen you defined and in which screen you are going to use that. You will use set, define, and assign them. Then we have context variables, which one part is navigate, which we saw together, and another part is update context. When you use update context, you will define and use the variable in only one screen. The next one is the collections. To having single value record or table, then it will create a copy of your data source or whatever, and you can use update and implement any logic on that inside your application. We have collect and clear collect. The difference between these two is collect, you will keep the value which you had in your, let's say, collection and add the value into that. Clear collect will clean your value and again add into that. So you don't need to use them inside your buttons. You can use them under unchange or even inside each screen you have invisible part. So you can just define your variables here, for example, and then when you reach a screen, those will be updated as well. And yeah, that's it. Let me know in the comment part if you have any question. I will go through them and answer your questions. And if you enjoyed the video, please don't forget to subscribe to the channel and like the video. Thank you. Bye.